Let's talk in British English. Alice dreamt of global travel, her mind alight with exotic destinations. Yet, one significant hurdle loomed large: confidently speaking English. She knew basic grammar, but engaging in natural conversation felt like scaling a formidable mountain peak. The very thought often made her palms feel quite clammy and her heart flutter anxiously inside her chest. Traditional textbook learning had left her feeling somewhat frustrated. Rote memorization of verb conjugations simply didn't translate into fluid communication. She yearned for authentic British English, the kind heard in bustling London cafes and charming rural villages, not just academic exercises. This desire fueled her quest for a better method. How to talk in English echoed in her thoughts constantly. It wasn't merely about stringing words together, it was about intonation, rhythm, and cultural nuances. She realized true fluency required more than just knowing vocabulary, it demanded a deeper, more intuitive grasp of the language's very essence. This realization became her compass. A pivotal moment arrived one drizzly autumn afternoon. Alice made a resolute decision: she would master British English, come what may. No more excuses, no more hesitation. This was a commitment to herself, an unwavering pledge to unlock her linguistic potential fully and completely. Her journey truly began that very day. She understood how to talk in English meant immersing herself in authentic sounds. It wasn't just formal lessons, but embracing everyday interactions and the melodic patterns of native speakers. She sought out resources that reflected genuine British communication, moving beyond textbook dialogues towards real-life conversations. The way of learning English for Alice transitioned from passive study to active engagement. She stopped viewing it as an academic subject and started seeing it as a living, breathing skill. This shift in perspective was profound, transforming her entire approach to language acquisition effectively and efficiently. Her initial major hurdle was how to make confidence in speaking. A palpable fear of making mistakes often silenced her, even when she knew the correct words. The thought of public blunders seemed utterly terrifying, hindering her progress significantly, despite her growing knowledge of grammar. She felt a tightening knot in her stomach whenever an opportunity to speak arose. Imagine scenarios of awkward pauses and mispronounced words played on repeat in her mind, creating an overwhelming sense of apprehension. This mental block was arguably her most formidable foe. The fear of making egregious mistakes was a significant barrier she faced daily. It wasn't just about sounding incorrect. It was the associated embarrassment and potential judgment from others that truly paralyzed her. Alice craved liberation from this debilitating linguistic anxiety. But Alice knew true progress demanded stepping resolutely outside her comfort zone. Growth, she understood, resided precisely where her greatest fears lay. She resolved to confront her apprehension head-on, no matter how uncomfortable the initial moments might prove to be. She started with delightfully small, manageable steps. Repeating simple, everyday phrases to herself in front of a mirror became her private practice ground. This gentle introduction slowly built her self-assurance, one perfectly articulated sentence at a time, within her own quiet space. Then, she bravely sought out a language exchange partner online, finding a kind British student named Tom. Their initial virtual meetings were a crucial turning point. He patiently corrected her, fostering a supportive environment for genuine language growth and exploration. Their first actual conversation was understandably awkward, filled with prolonged pauses and frequent blushes from Alice. Yet, Tom's encouraging smile and genuine interest slowly melted away her self-consciousness. Each shared moment chipped away at her apprehension. Yet, each stuttered, imperfect word slowly chipped away at her ingrained apprehension. She discovered that even flawed attempts contributed to her overall learning journey, proving far more beneficial than remaining silent. Progress, not perfection, became her new mantra. She truly realized how to make confidence in speaking was an ongoing, deeply personal process. It wasn't a sudden burst of bravery, but a gradual, consistent accumulation of small, courageous acts. Every conversation, however faltering, added another brick to her confidence wall. It wasn't a sudden, magical switch, but a gentle, steady accumulation of brave moments. Each instance of choosing to speak instead of staying silent reinforced her belief in herself. Alice began to see growth in every single interaction. Her British friend, Tom, consistently emphasized the profound importance of listening. Why you must listen, he patiently explained, is to truly grasp the cadence and rhythm of authentic British speech, not just individual words. This advice resonated deeply within her. Tom meticulously explained the subtle nuances of regional accents and the delightful intricacies of everyday British expressions. He showed her how context was king, and how a slight shift in tone could entirely alter a sentence's intended meaning. Alice, inspired, began devouring British podcasts and radio dramas with fervent eagerness. She chose topics she genuinely enjoyed, transforming passive listening into an engaging, enjoyable learning experience, soaking up authentic English at every available opportunity. She started her immersive listening journey with simple children's stories, like Peppa Pig and Paddington Bear, to comfortably grasp the basic rhythm and gentle intonation. Their clear pronunciation provided a perfect foundation for her nascent understanding. Gradually, she progressed onto more complex content, sophisticated BBC News broadcasts and captivating historical documentaries. This systematic approach allowed her to challenge herself progressively, expanding her comprehension without feeling utterly overwhelmed by the difficulty. How to improve your listening skills became her daily mantra and unwavering focus. She trained herself not just to hear sounds, but to actively process meaning, identify key information, and appreciate the underlying emotional subtleties in spoken dialogue. She focused intently not just on the individual words spoken but also on the subtle pauses, the emphasis, and the speaker's emotional tones. This holistic approach provided a much richer understanding of conversations and genuine British communication. Active listening involved consciously anticipating what might be said next in conversations. She would mentally predict responses, then compare them with the actual dialogue, sharpening her comprehension and responsiveness considerably during discussions. She also started diligently watching British films, initially with no subtitles at all, embracing the challenge. Then, for deeper understanding, she would re-watch them with English subtitles, linking sounds to spellings effectively and efficiently. This dynamic method dramatically boosted her comprehension over several concentrated weeks. She found herself grasping colloquialisms and rapid-fire dialogue that once seemed utterly impenetrable, a testament to her persistent and dedicated practice regime. Her vocabulary expanded naturally, almost organically, through sheer exposure and context. How to learn words shifted from rote memorization to contextual absorption. She discovered words stuck better when encountered in meaningful sentences. She meticulously kept a dedicated notebook for new idioms and charming colloquialisms she encountered daily. Revisiting these phrases regularly ensured they became firmly ingrained in her long-term memory, enhancing her natural expression significantly. Spaced repetition software, like Anki, proved invaluable for consolidating new vocabulary effectively. Reviewing words at optimal intervals prevented forgetting, making her learning incredibly efficient and her memory retention profoundly robust over time. Alice also shrewdly focused on learning words in complete phrases, rather than in isolating them. This holistic method enabled her to understand the natural usage and common collocations, making her speech sound considerably more authentic and fluid. This contextual learning made her speech sound remarkably natural and much less robotic than before. She wasn't just translating word by word, she was speaking in idiomatic expressions, a true sign of developing fluency and mastery. The best way to learn English, she concluded, was not a singular path but a synergistic blend of many interwoven methods. It was a personalized recipe, constantly adapted to her evolving needs and preferred learning styles, a truly dynamic process. It wasn't one magical solution or a secret shortcut, but consistent, varied effort applied diligently every single day. She understood that dedication and persistence were far more potent than any single learning technique in isolation. Speaking practice remained paramount, even when it still occasionally felt intimidating or overwhelmingly difficult. She sought every opportunity to articulate her thoughts aloud, embracing the discomfort as a necessary part of her ongoing growth. She bravely joined various online discussion groups populated with native British speakers for regular practice sessions. These informal chats provided a safe, supportive environment to experiment with new phrases and refine her conversational skills steadily. How to improve your fluency involved constant verbalization and purposeful repetition. She recognized that speaking wasn't just about vocabulary, it was about the smooth, uninterrupted flow of ideas and natural delivery in conversation. She conscientiously practiced shadowing, repeating dialogues immediately after hearing them from native speakers. This technique helped her mimic authentic pronunciation, intonation patterns, and the natural speed of delivery with increasing accuracy. This meticulous mirroring helped her mimic native pronunciation and the nuanced speed of delivery accurately. Her tongue and mouth muscles became accustomed to forming sounds previously unfamiliar, enhancing her clarity remarkably quickly. Alice even talked to herself in British English while performing mundane chores at home. She narrated her actions, described objects, and pondered aloud, turning everyday tasks into invaluable, uninhibited speaking practice sessions. She narrated her day, describing actions and her innermost thoughts aloud, a truly fantastic and highly effective exercise. This consistent self-dialogue reinforced her newly acquired vocabulary and grammatical structures organically and naturally. This uninhibited self-talk greatly reduced her hesitation and the frustrating search for appropriate words. It built an internal confidence that then easily translated into smoother, more fluid external conversations with other people. Her confidence blossomed with each successful interaction she genuinely experienced. Every answered question, every shared laugh, and every clear explanation became a powerful affirmation of her steadily improving linguistic abilities. The initial fear of judgment slowly, but surely, dissipated, replaced by a genuine joy in speaking. She reveled in the freedom of expressing herself fully, connecting with others on a deeper, more meaningful level through language. She started to find conversations flowed much more naturally and easily, almost effortlessly now. The once daunting task of communication transformed into an enjoyable, spontaneous exchange, a testament to her perseverance and dedication. People understood her clearly, and she understood them, often without much conscious effort or strain at all. The language barrier, once an imposing wall, had crumbled, replaced by a wide-open bridge of mutual comprehension and connection. Alice's cherished dream of working internationally began to feel genuinely attainable, no longer a distant fantasy. Her newfound linguistic prowess opened doors to opportunities she previously could only have imagined, sparking immense excitement. She successfully applied for a competitive internship in bustling London, a significant milestone and a testament to her remarkable dedication. Her British English skills were rigorously tested and, ultimately, thoroughly approved. Her British English was now beautifully fluent, enriched with local expressions, charming idioms, and subtle nuances. She could effortlessly navigate complex discussions, her voice carrying the authentic ring of a truly confident speaker. How to talk in English had evolved from a perplexing question into a confident, resounding reality for Alice. She had traversed the learning journey from anxious beginner to articulate communicator, achieving her linguistic aspirations fully. Her journey exemplified extraordinary dedication, unwavering patience, and a brave willingness to embrace linguistic challenges daily. She consistently pushed her boundaries, proving that persistence is indeed the quintessential key to mastering anything. She emphatically proved that with consistent, determined effort, anyone can master a new language effectively. Her story served as a powerful beacon of hope and inspiration for countless other language learners around the globe. Alice became an inspiring figure, showing others the true, practical path to language success. Her tangible progress demonstrated that hard work, combined with smart strategies, invariably leads to remarkable linguistic achievements. Her entire story underscored profoundly why you must listen to truly grasp a language's very soul. Listening, she realized, was the invaluable gateway to understanding not just words, but the culture and spirit behind them. Every hesitant step, every minor mistake, and every triumphant success contributed significantly to her amazing, transformative progress. Each experience, whether challenging or rewarding, was a vital part of her unique learning mosaic. She stood as living proof that unwavering persistence truly pays off beautifully in the long run. Alice's journey was a vibrant testament to the power of commitment, turning a daunting aspiration into a brilliant, living reality.